This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's 6 o'clock and a Storm Team 6 alert day. Winter weather advisory still posted for a good chunk of central Indiana as the snow continues to fall. We'll let you know when that's going to wrap up and talk about the tumbling temperatures heading our way.
Todd's got his eyes on the sky, and we are keeping our eyes on your road, giving you a closer look at what it's going to look like as you head out the door this morning.
It's been 3 years since Abby Williams and Libby German were reported missing. This morning, we're taking a look at how the community is remembering the two girls.
Community leaders are planning for the next phase of rapid transit in Indianapolis.
Stand strong to support the changes that are necessary for the livelihood of our community.
Working for you, why residents say they're concerned with the current Blue Line plan.
And this weekend, you may be tempted by all those President's Day sales. This morning, we're looking at what you should and shouldn't buy so you don't waste your money.
All right, it is 6 o'clock here on Thursday, February 13th. Before you head out there today or maybe send the kids out there, we have more than 160 school delays and closings. Franklin Township doing an e-learning day. Carmel, Hamilton Southeastern, 2-hour delay. Even IU Kokomo on a 2-hour delay. So kind of a mixed bag out there.
It is messy out there. As I tweeted, when you can't see the state's tallest building from the interstate, it's foggy. You have a problem.
Yeah, and to add to all the precipitation we've had, the temps are now going to drop as we continue into our day, Todd. So this just really isn't the best situation.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot going on. It really started yesterday afternoon. It was rain, it was snow, it was sleet for some of you. We've transitioned to all snow now. That's the good news, and the visibilities are reduced a little bit because of these snow showers that are falling across the area. And so the visibilities can change a little bit. The road conditions will change, especially if you're heading in a north-south direction, because there was a big difference from the snow to the north and just rain down to the south. Some of these snow showers right now continue Seymour, Columbus, Greensburg, over towards the Connorsville area, in and around the metro area, kind of tapering things off to just some flurries right now in and around Brownsburg, over towards Danville, and then to the east. This is where you'll hang on to the snow showers the longest. You see they continue to fall here in Newcastle, Muncie, over towards Winchester. As far as any additional accumulation on the east side of the state, could pick up a coating to maybe a half an inch of snow additional, and that should be just about it. But the overall trend this morning will be for these snow showers to continue to diminish across the area. Temperatures will stay in the mid-30s here through the noon hour, but look at the change by the time you get to 4 p.m. down to 25 degrees. By this evening, we're in the teens, and tomorrow morning, it's a frigid start. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren?
Todd, thank you. We're keeping a close eye on your roads this morning. We know there's slick spots out there, and the conditions, as Todd says, may change throughout your commute, so keep that in mind. We are monitoring this crash right now. This is in the southbound lane of I-465 near 56th Street on the northeast side. You can see our view here from Fall Creek Road. It looks like traffic is still getting by okay. This is over in the right lane and shoulder. We'll continue to monitor that, but let's take a look right now at our traffic now map and everything we're monitoring at this hour. This is something we've been following this morning. The right lane of northbound I-65, a jackknifed semi here up in Boone County at State Road 267. Not slowing things down too much yet, so that is good news. Near north side, we do have a crash and rollover closing Kessler Boulevard West Drive between Spring Mill Road and North Meridian Street. So we'll continue to monitor those. Right now, I want you to know that Storm Team 6's own Alyssa Donovan and photojournalist Shay Goodpaster, they are out on the roads in our live drive vehicle, checking out those conditions all around the Circle City. Alyssa, good morning. Where are you at, and what are things like for you guys this morning?
Good morning, Lauren. So we are heading south on north on I-65 right now, and you can see that we are not really seeing too many issues on the roads. Things look a little bit of a sheen on them, but we are not experiencing any issues on the highways. Now, we did see that light snowfall a little while ago across the metro area as we drove out to get to the highways. We did notice that there were some light snowfall across the road. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time as you head out, and of course we'll continue to track this for you. We have seen that snowfall kind of come to an end here, so we're not expecting a lot of issues, but of course we'll keep an eye on that for you. I-65 northbound looking pretty good right now. I'm going to toss it over to Kelsey.
Hey, good morning, Alyssa. So we are still up here on the north side near Meridian and 96th Street. And still, things are moving. Now the traffic is picking up, but still the roads are just looking wet. We haven't heard or seen of anything, especially on our drive up here this morning, of any slick road conditions over on this side of town. But we have seen several DPW and NDOT crews out here salting and removing whatever is sticking to the road. So, but we can't speak for the whole entire area. So just use caution when you're out on the roadways. But I told you earlier that this snow is just going to get heavier and heavier, and that is true. So if you haven't shoveled yet, get out there and do it, because it is much heavier and stickier than it was before earlier this morning. So it's just going to get more wet throughout the day. So if you have time right now, get out there, shovel that driveway, shovel that sidewalk, maybe even pull a Raphael and do the nice thing and shovel your neighbor's driveway too. For now, it's back to you, Lauren.
All right, Kelsey, stay warm out there. Just a reminder for all you folks at home, it's a good time to make sure you have the Storm Shield app downloaded on your smartphone. You can get interactive radar, the latest Storm Team 6 forecast, and all the school closings and delays right in one place. Just search Storm Shield in your smartphone's marketplace.
The time now is 6:05, and today marks 3 years since 2 teenage girls from Delphi were reported missing. Their bodies would be found the next day. Today is a solemn day for the families of Abby Williams and Libby German. The girls were on a walk along the Old Monon High Bridge on February the 13th, 2017, when a man approached them. Libby was able to use her cell phone to record the person considered to be the prime suspect in this case. At this point, no arrest has been made. Tonight, for a second year, the families will be hosting a Remembering Abby and Libby food drive in Delphi. Boxes of donated food and pet food were collected at the Delphi United Methodist Church last year, as you can see. The items distributed to local pantries in honor of the girls. That food drive at Delphi United Methodist Church will run from 5 to 7. The doors will open at 4 this afternoon. The family's asking that you remember the girls also by hugging a child, displaying purple and teal ribbons, and maybe also showing an act of kindness. Now, since the start of the investigation, police have received 40,000 tips about this case. At times, the investigation is slowed down when people post pictures on Facebook or Instagram of men who are not the suspect. These are the official images police want people to really focus on every single day. If you recognize a person, you're asked to contact law enforcement. Posting random pictures of men who may look like the suspect not only exposes you to legal issues, but muddies the water and removes the focus on the actual suspect. Only on RTV6, the Old Monon High Bridge, which has been off limits for repairs following the girl's death, is now expected to open to the public by the end of this year. In October, Indiana Landmarks oversaw a $90,000 project to strengthen that bridge with 162 tons of new concrete. The next step will involve adding decking and fencing to a portion of the bridge about 300 feet so that people can actually walk safely on that structure. A grant from the North Central Health Services totaling $248,000 is making that all possible. Indiana Landmarks will need to raise an extra $12,000 to pay off the new safety features.
Here at 6:08, this woman on the run for months, captured right here in Indiana yesterday. The Virginia mother accused of abducting her 4 children and disappearing was arrested in Plainfield. The U.S. Marshals captured 34-year-old Melody Bannister Wednesday morning at a Speedway gas station. Investigators found her 4 children safe inside her vehicle. Authorities say last June, Bannister told deputies her children had been abused by a family member, but the accusations were reportedly unfounded. They had last been seen in late August. Then in December, law enforcement issued an official Amber Alert saying the kids could be in danger.
Indigo's Blue Line is a little more than 2 years from becoming a reality, but that's not stopping people from trying to get the project changed. They got to share some of their concerns last night at a town hall meeting. The line will stretch 24 miles from the city's east side to the airport. The new rapid transit line will use portions of Washington Street, reducing 4-lane streets to 2 lanes. That's what hundreds of people are wanting to avoid.
We all want to see road improvements and beautification to Washington Street, but they certainly shouldn't be held hostage to this project or be forced to sacrifice lanes.
We're still waiting to hear back from Indigo about the concerns raised at this meeting, but in the past, a spokesperson has told RTV6 that they are taking notes and they're hopeful to improve the plan. An event happening tonight will give you the opportunity to learn a little bit more about the Purple Line. That 15-mile route will connect Indianapolis and Lawrence using some existing Red Line infrastructure. Indigo will host an open house from 5:30 to 7:30 this evening at Cafe Indy on 38th Street near Post Road. The Purple Line will replace Route 39. Construction is scheduled to start early next year with service set to start in the year 2023. The time right now is 6:10 here. It's a Storm Team 6 alert day. And Todd, what's the radar looking like?
You know, we have snow out there for just about everybody, or with the precipitation you do see is going to be snow. It's already coming to an end for some of you here just to the west of Bloomington. Some light snow in Columbus over towards Greensburg, off to the Newcastle area as well, tapering it off to just some flurries here in the metro area, and also points to the north and the backside of this system swinging through Illinois. So we'll continue to have the threat of a few snow showers here and there throughout the course of the day today, but we're not going to see any real additional accumulation. That is the good news. So today's travel, slick spots, obviously, with the snow that's falling combined with what we saw last night. By this afternoon and evening, though, it will be dry, but temperatures tumble, going down to 25 degrees for your drive home from work. And then by tomorrow morning, we're down into the single digits. More on that forecast coming up.
Todd, thank you so much. This morning, a local mother says a children's play place put her child in danger.
I never thought anything like this would ever happen. I've been there before.
Working for You will show you what happened and how the company is responding this morning.
But first, President Trump's proposed budget could tighten the purse strings for some central Indiana organizations. After the break, how cuts to community development grants could impact Hoosiers.
And here's your reminder for you. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. It's not too late. Maybe you're looking to get your special someone a piece of jewelry. How can you tell if that diamond you're buying is naturally grown or in a lab? Yeah, what is that one? Coming up in the top of the hour.
What's coming my way?
What you need to know as you head to the jewelry store. We'll be right back.
I'm layaway.
Hey, flooring. Floors to your home. That too.
Good morning, I'm Kelsey Anderson, and we are out here tracking on the north side of Indy to give you a look at what roads are looking like right now. Here at 96th and Meridian, again, things are moving smoothly. There is some wetness on the road, so as those temperatures drop throughout the day, we could see things getting a little bit more slick. We do have 150 school delays or closings already reported, so if you are on a delay this morning, get out and play in that snow because this is good packing snow. So get out and play before you have to head to school. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 6:15. Ball State says that a professor who called police to his classroom will not be teaching for the rest of the semester. We showed you video of the incident last month after a student posted it online.
All right, you want to sit here or do you want to leave?
Why am I moving in the middle of class? He legit stopped the class to try to move me. I've been back here on this PowerPoint. Are you being disruptive in the class? No, I'm not doing that. The whole damn class is here. It's cool. You know what? I'm going to leave. He's been on our work the whole time with it.
The professor called police after a student would not move seats during class. The incident prompted a demonstration on campus and calls for change from students. There's that protest. In a statement, university officials say the teaching decision was made to ensure continuity in the curriculum and eliminate any unnecessary distractions.
Working for You, RTV6 is getting perspective on how President Trump's proposed 2021 budget would impact Hoosiers. The plan would eliminate community development block grants. The John Bonner Center on the east side of Indianapolis used grant money to help convert part of its facility into classroom space. A representative from the center says discontinuing the grants would be a disservice to the community.
Cutting the CDBG and home funding would be detrimental to the work that we do. I mean, I can certainly appreciate the complexities of trying to manage a budget. We have thousands of people that come here every year with needing help for their budgeting purposes. But without having the CDBG and home funding, that really limits in what we're able to do.
The proposal is unlikely to pass. Congress usually exercises its ability to ignore it and draft their own budget, but the budget gives a snapshot of the White House's priorities and wish list for next year.
It is 6:16 this morning. We are working for you to get answers for a Central Indiana mother after a day of fun with her kids turned terrifying. Mindy Black says she spent Saturday night at Jump and Play in Noblesville with her 3 children. The facility is filled with bounce houses and inflatable slides. Mindy says her family stayed until closing time. As they got ready to leave, she realized her 3-year-old daughter was missing. Shortly after that, Mindy heard screaming and crying.
I began to look for her and actually did find her in one of the inflatables that was deflating. She was pinned underneath, and we were able to get her out. She was unharmed. However, very, very shaken up and very scared.
Mindy says an employee started deflating the bounce areas, trapping her daughter inside. Mindy is concerned this could happen again and the next child may not be so lucky. She tells RTV6 that her calls and messages to Jump and Play have gone unreturned. We reached out as well on her behalf. A manager declined to comment. He told us his attorney would respond. We will continue to push for answers.
On a day like today, we are all thinking about May. The party planned at the track for Legends Day just got a little bit bigger. Country music artist Morgan Wallen has been added to the concert lineup. Wallen, who's known for his hit Up Down, will join headlining superstar Luke Bryan at the show. The Legends Day concert is scheduled for May the 23rd. May the 23rd. Sounds fantastic. A day before the Indianapolis 500. General admission tickets start at $35. I am thinking of May at this very moment.
I think everyone is.
And look what's behind Todd.
We have been very lucky, though, this winter. We've been very, very lucky, and now it seems as though Mother Nature just decided to show up all at once, Todd.
You know, it turned into February here across the area. You know, our biggest snow was back before Christmas, where we saw those 2 storms that brought us 4 and 5 inches of snow across most of the area. 2 days in a row. Today, we didn't pick up nearly that much snow, officially just under an inch at the airport in Indianapolis, more to the north as expected, but it wasn't those huge snowfall totals, so that was good news. Snow coming to an end across the area, little to no additional accumulation, and then changes north to south. And what I mean by this is there were different areas that saw different kinds of precipitation. To the south, little to no snow yesterday. To the north, you saw more in the way of snow. In the metro area, it was kind of a combo of rain, sleet, snow, and then it turned pretty slushy. So as your travels take you north-south across the state, just know that conditions will change. As far as the snow starting to wind down across the area, this was kind of that little burst of snow. We told you that was going to happen yesterday. On the backside of this, as the colder air came in, there would be this little push of snow. Columbus to Greensburg, Connorsville to Richmond, some light snow, tapering it off to just some scattered snow showers off to our west and in around the metro area. Just a few flurries to the north, some scattered snow showers in Kokomo. The further north you go, you'll still hang on to some decent snow for the remainder of the morning. But for most of us here in central Indiana, this will start to quickly come to an end over the next couple hours. And TrueCast confirms that as we go into the 8 o'clock hour, we're just dealing with a few spotty snow showers, little to no accumulation. And then one thing we will have to watch out for is later on this afternoon, as the winds change direction, there will be a couple lake effect snow bands that'll probably set up across parts of the area. If you're in one of these snow bands, you could get some decent accumulation, but they're going to be very, very thin. It's not widespread. It's not part of the same storm system that we just dealt with. It's just the winds coming off of Lake Michigan, providing some snow showers for some of you. Obviously, the further north you are, the better chance you have of seeing those lake effect snow showers. Temperatures right now are in the 30s across the area, but look what's lurking off to our west. Temperatures below 0 in Des Moines, 17 below right now in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's what's heading our way. I do think some areas to the north where there's more snow on the ground tomorrow morning gets down below 0. About 5 in Indianapolis where there's less snow on the ground, a little bit warmer. 11 in Bloomington. Your Valentine's Day forecast, I can't guarantee you'll see a cloud like this in the sky tomorrow, but it will be definitely cold with a temperature of only 18 degrees for your high. So make sure you bundle up if you do have plans. Good news is it's just a quick shot of cold air back into the 30s on Saturday, 40s, Lauren, on Sunday.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a look at our traffic now maps. We are monitoring a few issues right now. now on your roads here on the near north side. We have Kessler Boulevard West Drive closed between Spring Mill Road and North Meridian Street. This is for a rollover crash cleanup that is ongoing. Over here on the northeast side, right lane closed southbound I-465 near 56th Street for a crash cleanup. Also want you to keep in mind as you're heading out there, we have more than 190 school delays at this hour. That includes several large districts around the area like Zionsville, Carmel, Hamilton, Southeastern, 2-hour delays for them. Franklin Township's on an e-learning day, and even areas farther out, Mooresville, Martinsville, Shelbyville, delays this morning. So check the RTV6 app before heading out there. We do want to give you a better look at what you can expect as maybe you're heading to work soon. Storm Team 6's own Alyssa Donovan and photojournalist Shay Goodpaster, they're out in our live drive vehicle right now monitoring those conditions. Alyssa, where are you guys at right now, and what does it look like?
So right now we are just heading into Zionsville. We are heading east, and let me show you what it looks like on the roads right now. We did venture off into some of these side roads just to take a look. We know we had some of that light snowfall this morning. Things have sort of tapered off in this area, but you can see we do have a little bit of snow left on the roads here, so we are taking it pretty slow, but Shay tells me it's really not too bad here. We just need to be taking it slow, and that's really the advice for drivers this morning. But you can see we do have just some of that light snow left on the roads from what we had this morning, but for the most part it does seem like things are not too bad this morning. We did pass a couple trucks that had pulled over, some semi trucks on the highway on I-65 as we were coming this direction, so some of those spots might be having some issues. At least some of those truck drivers might have needed to pull over just to be safe as that snow was coming down, but things are looking pretty good out here. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
A California basketball player becoming the face of sportsmanship. New at 6:25, his incredible act of kindness that you'll want to start your morning with today. This is super fantastic. You'll want to see the story.
February is American Heart Month, and each morning we're giving you tips for a healthier lifestyle. You can get an exercise while watching your favorite show by doing yoga, lifting weights, or jogging in place. These tips are part of the Go Red for Women campaign, sponsored by the American Heart Association. So get up and get moving this morning. We'll be right back.
Keller and Keller.
Welcome back. It's time to take a look at what is trending at 6. And guys, we have such yucky weather out there today. We thought that we'd have some good news stories for us today on our Thursday. A varsity basketball game in Fremont, California, showing the epitome of sportsmanship. An American high school was down with 30 points and 10 seconds left to play. That's when Uriel Rodriguez, who doesn't get much playing time, asked to shoot a basket. Brajon Thompson from the opposing team gave Uriel the ball, and he was able to make that last basket of the night. At the end, both teams celebrated as if they both won.
Oh, that's pretty
that's awesome. That's cool.
A random act of kindness in Sacramento leaves a 6-year-old and her older sister stunned. Daphne Kenny found a $100 bill tucked in a cereal shelf along with a special message. The note read, "Whoever finds this, I love you." Daphne took the money to Build-A-Bear, and the family now has 3 cats, all named Steamy. She says she'll never forget the random act of kindness.
I love that part. Steamy. Well, it's not steamy out there.
Anything but as these snow showers continue to fall, but they're starting to wrap up. That is the good news here across the area, and these snow showers could reduce visibility a little bit on the roadways, but they're not going to put down enough snow, especially if roads are treated, to cause a lot of additional issues on the roadways. But as always, you have to give yourself some extra time with the rain and snow that we saw yesterday. Temperatures right now hovering around the freezing mark. These temperatures will drop quickly, though, once we get into the afternoon hours.
Todd, thanks. President's Day sales are happening this weekend, and you can get some pretty big discounts.
But before you go shopping, our John Matarese is working for you this morning with what you should and should not buy so you don't waste your money.
If you're going to need a new appliance, bed, or furniture this spring, this is the weekend to finally get out of the house, because the President's Day sales are the real thing. Stores have been quiet the past month, partly because everyone was spent out from Christmas, but also because the only big sales were on winter clearance items and bedding. But DealNews.com says President's Weekend brings the best sales since Black Friday. Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Macy's, and more have just kicked off big sales on thousands of products for your home. And you'll find big appliance markdowns at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Best Buy. Among specific items seeing huge markdowns this weekend, Dyson vacuums, furniture, beds and mattresses, air fryers and pressure cookers, Beats headphones, Apple Watches, and AirPods. So what's not on sale? Well, Deal News says this is not the best holiday to buy patio furniture. What's not on sale? Deal News says this is not the best holiday to buy patio furniture or grills because stores are just stocking up for spring right now. You'll find those on sale Memorial Day, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. The man who shot and killed a prominent Indianapolis doctor will learn his sentence today. Devin Seats pleaded guilty to killing Dr. Kevin Rogers in 2017. 3 other suspects in the case were sentenced last week after also accepting plea agreements.
1 week after 4 young people were shot and killed at a Northeast Side apartment complex, police were back last night investigating a shooting death of a 27-year-old man. The latest shooting happened just before 7:30 p.m. at the Carriage House East Apartments at 42nd Street and Mid-Alpha Road. The victim later died at the hospital. Police say it is not related to last week's quadruple homicide.
On that point, a reminder, IMPD detectives, they're staffing a tip hotline right now in an effort to get information on those 4 homicides, as well as the murder of the employee at a Subway restaurant on the city's Northeast Side. Detectives will continue to take calls at the hotline through this afternoon. The number right there on your screen, 317-327-3475.
A new law signed by Governor Eric Holcomb will delay Indiana's schools and teachers from facing any penalties due to lower scores on the new iLearn exam. It gives a 2-year delay on schools receiving a lower state rating based on this year's tests. The state Senate is considering a separate bill already passed by the House that would permanently decouple test scores from teacher evaluations.
And the Pacers finally getting a win. The Milwaukee Bucks are playing without their star, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is on leave because his wife recently gave birth. The Pacers' 118-111 win over the Bucks snapped their 6-game losing streak going into the All-Star break. They are off until they take on the Knicks next Friday in New York.
It is a messy winter day. It is a Storm Team 6 alert day here in Indianapolis. 195 school delays or closings. We're talking about in the delay category, places like Carmel, Cathedral High School, Lebanon schools, as well as Lafayette School. So just be patient this morning. Todd Clausen, you have a busy day ahead.
Yeah, you know, it's been busy with this storm coming in because we saw all forms of different precipitation. Yeah. So it just depends, like, really where you are and what you saw. But not surprising, there's all those school delays. It's very sloppy out there. We're still dealing with some snow showers across the area. So as you get going here this morning, 1, give yourself some extra time, and 2, have a little bit of patience out there on the roadways. We'll continue to deal with these snow showers for a little bit longer this morning, with temperatures hovering right around the freezing mark. But as we look at Storm Team 6 radar, it's starting to wind down. All the heavy precipitation, whether it was rain or snow in your neighborhood, has moved off to the east. We're dealing with some snow showers in Greensburg as well as Connorsville. Another batch of snow going to rotate here through the northern portions of central Indiana, but little to no accumulation. The one exception for those of you closer to the lakeshore, we'll probably get into some lake effect snow bands as the day goes on and the wind direction changes. So keep that in mind if your travels take you up Interstate 65. Otherwise, temperatures hold pretty steady here initially this morning, but look how they drop dramatically throughout the afternoon. By the time we get to 9 p.m., we're all the way down into the teens. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on those roads this morning as we have the precipitation coming down. I-465 and West 46th Street, wet roads out there, but traffic is moving along up to speed. A heads up, though, as you are traveling on the interstates, I am monitoring some new crashes right now on I-70 out in Hancock County, and I-74 crashed down in Shelbyville. So keep that in mind. We can tell you, though, that crews from the city and the state, they've been working since yesterday to make sure that those roads will stay as clear for you as possible. The Department of Public Works here in Indianapolis has all of its trucks out on the roads from now through tomorrow morning's commute. INDOT is also working to keep the interstates and the state highways clear for drivers. And Storm Team 6's own Alyssa Donovan and photojournalist Shay Goodpaster, they are out in our live drive vehicle this morning, giving us a better look at what we can expect as we take to the roads. Alyssa, I know you were up in Zionsville moments ago. They're on a 2-hour delay. Where are you guys right now, and what's it looking like?
So we are on Zionsville Road and we're heading south. We're approaching I-465 right now, and I want to show you the roads around Zionsville. You can see that we did have that light snowfall this morning. We are seeing a little bit of the road coated. I know Shay came to a stop earlier, and as he did, he skidded a little bit, so that's kind of the conditions that we're dealing with out here. Some slicker conditions. You're definitely going to need to give yourself extra time. I know we always say that, but that's definitely the truth today. We saw that when we came to that full stop just a little while ago. As we are approaching I-465, I want to talk about the highways. Now, for the most part, they seemed like they were in good condition when we were driving along I-65 earlier this morning, but we did notice that there were a few trucks that had pulled over, some of those semi-trucks, so just be aware there might be some semi-trucks and other cars pulled over to the side of the road. Not sure if they were having issues. I know we've had some reports of that throughout the morning, so just give yourself extra time just in case you encounter any of those crashes or slide-offs that we've seen a few areas this morning. As we continue down this road, you can see just a little bit of that light coating of snow, and of course we are expecting a little bit more as we head through the morning, but you can see there's some areas that haven't been plowed. We've also noticed that quite a few parking lots haven't been plowed as we've been driving around, so you might notice that as you're heading to work today. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time as you head out on the roads. So back to you in the studio.
Melissa, thank you so much. Our team coverage continues as we keep checking in on the RTV6 app. We know that many school systems have delayed classes, a few of them including Muncie, Newcastle, Noblesville on a 2-hour delay. Keep looking at the bottom of your screen there as we continue to scroll at the bottom of your screen what is happening with your individual school system on the app as well as the IndyChannel.com.
Now, when you do get out of the house or go to work or eventually get the kids off to school today, we want you to be ready to deal with the snow and ice on your car and on your driveway and all those sidewalks. Our Kelsey Anderson is live this morning with more on what you'll have to deal with as you get your day started. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. So we're on the north side right now. This is 96th and Meridian. As you can see, cars are moving at normal speed. Things look to be moving pretty smoothly. But like Raphael said, almost 200 school delays this morning. And I honestly don't recommend having a snowball fight because I think these snowballs could do some damage. And I don't build snowmen, so I'll do a snow angel for you. This is for producer Ray Steele. I'll show you my mad skills at making a snow angel. But like Todd is saying, it's going to get colder. Actually, this is kind of hard to do a snow angel in. So it's going to get colder, so now's the time to play in the snow. So if you have a 2-hour delay this morning, bundle up, go out and play, and you can have some hot chocolate right before you go to school. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. A reminder, you can download the Storm Shield app. A great time to do that. You can use interactive radar, most up-to-date Storm Team 6 forecast. It's right in the palm of your hand. Also check those school delays on the RTV6 app before you head out there. Again, the Storm Shield app can be found in your smartphone's marketplace. Now on to other news of the day. 6:36 here on your Thursday, and police believe that a well-organized gang of thieves is committing crimes across the country, including right here in central Indiana. Fishers police have issued a warning saying the gang stole a woman's wallet earlier this month at the Panera on 96th Street near I-69. Immediately after that, the woman's credit cards were used to buy $5,000 in gift cards at the Super Target on 116th Street. Here's what detectives say about those suspects. They operate in groups of 2 or 3. They are usually well-dressed. They drive rental cars to blend in to these upscale communities. They specifically target lunch places located near large retail stores, and they usually steal from women's purses. So here are some safety reminders for you that could help prevent you from becoming a victim. Keep your purse zipped or closed. Never hang it on the back of your chair. Set up fraud alerts on all your credit and debit cards. And police say do not wait until you get home to make a report if you think you have been victimized.
3 years after their disappearance, the person who killed Abby Williams and Libby German is still out there somewhere. Next, how it could take as little as a minute to help police crack the case. We'll be right back.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Today marks 3 years since 2 girls from Delphi were reported missing. Their bodies would be found the next day. It is a solemn day for the families of Abby Williams and Libby German. The girls were on a walk along the old Monon High Bridge on February the 13th, 2017, when a man approached them. Libby was able to use her cell phone to videotape the person considered to be the prime suspect in this case. At this point, no arrest has been made. I had a chance to sit down with the families of Abby Williams and Libby German over the last few days. I was reminded that Libby was known for saying in a minute when asked to do her homework or to pick up her clothing. Libby's grandmother is still surprised by the number of people who tell her that they have never heard about this case. Today, Becky Patty is asking that instead of just posting pictures online, that you actually take 1 minute to share the story, the pictures, with someone who's unaware of Abby and Libby.
So that's why we've asked everybody to give her that other minute.
Do it now before something horrific happens again.
To close your eyes and listen to that voice. To look at this stuff, to think. This guy put behind bars so he can't hurt anybody else.
You could put a stop to this.
If you can stop him. There's never going to be true justice for us because you can't bring the girls back.
You could bring closure to this portion of the case.
For a second straight year, the families are hosting a Remembering Abby and Libby food drive in Delphi. Today, boxes of donated food and pet food will be collected at the Delphi United Methodist Church, as we saw last year. The items will be distributed to local pantries in honor of the girls. And that food drive will run from 5 to 7 p.m. The doors will open at 4. The family's asking that other ways that you can remember the girls today is by either hugging a child, displaying purple and teal ribbons, which were the girls' favorite colors, and showing kindness. And don't forget to give them 60 seconds. A lot can happen in 1 minute.
And the families and all of us want everyone at home to remember that it's not too late to report something. If you think you know something about this case, that tip line is still open and detectives want to hear from you. That number is 844-459-5786. You can always find that on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com.
It is a solemn day for the families for the next 2 days. They'll be at work today and tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, but for the families every day, the girls are in their hearts. So, of course, they want people to call in if at all possible. So please call that tip line if you can.
And we cannot stress enough, please do not post photos on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook of someone you think might be the suspect. It does not help. It only hurts the situation. It hurts the family. So please, if you think you do have some sort of answer, no matter how small it is, call police. They do want to hear from you. And we also want to hear from meteorologist Todd Clausen this morning. There is so much going on outside, no matter where you are.
Yeah, and it depends where you are. It's more snow to the north. We had a lot of rain yesterday evening in southern location. It's everybody right now just dealing with some snow showers moving through, but the damage is done. The roads are slick in spots. Give yourself some extra time. We'll talk more about the snow showers moving through and also some bitter cold air that briefly makes an appearance coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Now at MartinAcura.com.
It is 6:46 on your Thursday. We do have a few trouble spots on your roads, taking you out here in the Hancock County area of I-70. We do have a crash right now blocking the left lane of westbound I-70 near State Road 9, slowing down traffic, as you can see by the yellow there on our map. We also have a crash on westbound I-70 just before State Road 109. No injuries. Shelbyville drivers, a report of a crash blocking the left lane westbound I-74 at State Road 9. And here on the north side of town, we have been monitoring this one for a while. A rollover crash closing Kessler Boulevard West Drive for cleanup between Springville Road and North Meridian Street. We know the road conditions are changing throughout the morning, and they change depending on what area you're in. This is a look from our live drive vehicle on the northwest side, traveling on Michigan Road, heading southbound this morning. You can see here, it looks like the roads are mostly wet. Just use caution for any slick spots, and keep this in mind. We have almost 200 school delays and closings on the RTV6 app right now. Those have been rolling in, and they've been adding throughout the morning all over the area. No matter if on the north side, there's some to the south, so just keep that in mind.
And this isn't over quite yet. So the kids are dealing with the precipitation now as they head to school. And Todd, when kids are heading home from school today and folks are heading home from work, it's going to be icy out there.
Yeah, you know, that's the problem. All this moisture out there, whether you just saw rain yesterday, the ground's obviously still wet. There's no going to be any sunshine today. So whatever out there is really going to freeze throughout the overnight hours. Wait till I show you the temperatures that will be heading our way. So the snow showers continue this morning. As far as any additional accumulation, it would be light. We're talking probably about a coating, and that is just about it. And that would be only on mainly grassy areas on your car. I think any roads that are treated across the area, snow not heavy enough this morning to cause any additional issues out there. But obviously the roads are slick in spots still from yesterday. Wrapping things up here with just a few flurries in the Bloomington and Nashville area. A little more in the way of snow shower activity in Greensburg over towards Connorsville. A few light snow showers in the metro area. That's not enough to really cause any additional damage. To the north here, it's an area we'll have to keep an eye on. There's a pretty good band that's going to swing through Monticello over towards the Peru area, Lafayette. That's probably the best potential to pick up maybe up to a half an inch of snow. And you can see this band in Illinois. But this should all start to wrap up pretty quickly here throughout the course of the morning hours. And that'll be great news, at least going forward throughout the day. Now, one exception is as the cold front comes through this afternoon, that's what's obviously going to drop the temperatures, but it's also going to change the wind direction. And there could be a pretty good lake effect snow band that sets up coming off of Lake Michigan later on this afternoon. It'll be a very thin band. It's not going to be very wide, so it's not going to impact a lot of people. However, look at it setting up here very close to Interstate 65. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on depending on exactly how that wind sets up later on today. There could be an area to the north that gets into some decent snowfall totals with that lake effect snow. That's obviously separate from the storm system that we've been dealing with. Temperatures right now are sitting in the 30s. Look at this bitter cold air just off to our west. 23 in Chicago, -8 in Des Moines right now. And that cold air is heading in our direction. So throughout the day today, our temperatures will hold pretty steady in the mid-30s initially, and then they'll start to fall off back down into the 20s quickly later on this evening. And then by tomorrow morning when you wake up, 5 in Indy, about 2 in Muncie where there's more snow on the ground, potentially below 0 in Lafayette as well as Peru where there's hardly any snow on the ground. That's where the temperatures will get down to about 11 to 13 degrees. Still obviously bitter cold to start your Valentine's Day. Your Valentine's Day forecast is a bright one. That's the good news. We'll have lots of sunshine, but it's a cold one as we'll see temperatures that'll be climbing only up to right around 18 to 20 degrees for your afternoon high. Even in the evening hours, temperatures will be in the teens. So if you do have plans with your Valentine, you're definitely going to have to bundle up if you're going to be out and about. Saturday morning, it's still very cold at 11 degrees. Sunday, though, we're back up to 32 for the overnight lows. Highs on Saturday after that very cold start still get into the mid-30s. Sunday, we're up to 44, so this shot of Arctic air is very brief. That is the good news. It's just a one-day deal. And then by Monday and Tuesday, as our next storm system heads our way, with temperatures in the 40s, it would be all rain. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now at your commute over on the east side, I-465 at East Washington Street. You can see traffic here luckily is traveling up to speed both northbound and southbound. I do want to alert you to something just south of here that I just got into the traffic system here. We do have a crash blocking the on-ramp from South Shadeland Avenue to southbound I-465. That's over there on the east side. That ramp system partially blocked off due to the overturned vehicle. So keep that in mind, and also keep in mind it may be slick over there. We have our live drive vehicle out on the roads right now on 56th Street, Michigan Road, that area there on the northwest side. Alyssa, what's going on out there?
So you can see we're starting to see traffic pick up around this area, and we were in Zionsville before where there was quite a bit of snow on the roads just from that light snow that we had earlier this morning. So we were experiencing some slick conditions. It was a little bit hard to brake and come to a complete stop. But as we are approaching this area, you can see the roads just have a bit of a sheen on them. A lot of this is melting off, and I'm sure that's due to these roads being treated before this snowfall that we've had over the past 24 hours or so. But you still want to give yourself a bit of extra time because we have seen some pockets of areas that do have just a bit of snow still on the roads from what we had this morning. So give yourself a little bit of extra time as you head out today. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Alyssa, thank you. Every rose has its thorn, but on Valentine's Day, the rose usually rises above all.
Next, it's Throwback Thursday, and we go back in time when the legendary Derek Thomas showed us how other flowers were making a run at the Rose's supreme reign. We'll be right back.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Well, it is Throwback Thursday time, and given that the big day is tomorrow, we just knew we'd find some Valentine's Day goodies in the archives.
I have you ladies covered, by the way. The red rose has long been the queen of Valentine's Day flowers, but of course, there are other floral offerings that may be more appealing to some.
Just ahead of Valentine's Day, 37 years ago, the legendary Derek Thomas went to a florist in search of the flawless, foolproof flower.
It is a long-stemmed aphrodisiac. It inspires love, and poet John Boyle Riley says it whispers of passion. It is the red rose, the most popular flower in America. It is never more apparent than on Valentine's Day, but for all its petal-pushing majesty, there are other flowers that can deliver just as much romantic punch. The cyclamen has proven to be a solid contender this season as a champion of love. Its success is sturdy, and its sale is brisk. Other challenges to the rose's crown include the freesia, a colorful species that originated in South Africa, was popularized in Holland, and is a fragrant assistant to Cupid's arrow. Azaleas have broken into the potted plant top 5, as have the Cinerea, with its purple passion radiating full bloom. And although the rose continues to reign supreme, on Valentine's Day, the flowers work as a team. Derek Thomas for the news. Channel 6.
Okay.
I feel like I was just hypnotized.
I'm like staring at the screen. Wow.
The ever poetic words of Derek Thomas. Nothing comes close.
Wow.
I'm a little cheap. I think I got you carnations, not roses. On this Storm Team 6 alert day, Todd Clausen.
It's the thought that counts,
right? The thought that counts, right?
The thought that counts.
No flowers bursting from the ground on a day like today.
No, although my tulips have come out a little bit here with that warmer weather that we have. I've seen a lot of pictures across central Indiana. That's happening as well. Snow showers starting to wind down here across the area. Little to no accumulation, but bundle up. We're in the 30s right now. 20s, though, by the time you come home. Single digits by tomorrow morning.
All right, Todd, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America.
All your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app.
Slow going this morning. Take it easy out there. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Valentine's Day, right here on Good Morning Indiana.